into Halton News right here on your TV. It's Thursday, October 22nd, and I'm Jessica Kading. Taking a look at our COVID-19 numbers now. 35 new cases have been confirmed in our region since yesterday, bringing our current total number of active cases to 231. There are 92 cases currently in Burlington, 40 in Milton, and 12 in Halton Hills. Oakville sitting there at 87. A couple of outbreaks in our long-term and retirement homes have resolved, leaving us with 5 open outbreaks. Both the retirement home and long-term care home at the village of Tanley Woods are affected. The Post-Inn Village, Chartwell Waterford, and Amica Georgetown. There are currently 8 people being treated for COVID-19 in our local hospitals. Robinson High School in Burlington has declared its first case of COVID-19. There are currently 28 schools in Halton with a confirmed case and 10 closed classrooms across the public and Catholic school boards. There are also 4 early childcare centers with at least 1 case. And now with a provincial update, I'll turn it over to Oakville MPP Stephen Crawford, who we're happy to have join us.
Yeah, so thanks again for having me, Jessica. It's been a busy week. I mean, of course, every week it's the news is really led by COVID, and the numbers have been stable, which is okay news. We want them to come down, but Halton today, I believe, had 29 cases, so they're not drastically going up, which is good. So it's good to see the residents here in Oakville and Halton are maintaining their social distancing so that we don't want these COVID numbers to keep skyrocketing like they have in other parts of the world. So overall, the province is doing a good job, and particularly here in Halton.
It has been noted, though, that the Halton region is not that far behind York region in terms of COVID-19 numbers. Is there a sense that we may also be placed into a modified stage 2?
I think everybody in Halton should always have that in the back of their mind, because at the end of the day, that's determined by the health command table. And our advisors really in the public health side. So we always need to be aware that that could happen. Is that going to happen? I don't know. I certainly hope not. I don't want it to. I don't want to shut down restaurants and businesses. We do not want to do that. So, but it should always be in the back of our mind, because we need to win against COVID here, because we know the devastating effects this can have if we don't take care of it from both a health point of view and an economic point of view. So at this stage, there's no further news on that at this point in time, but we always need to be cognizant of that.
And of course, there was also the big news about a new provincial initiative this week that you wanted to share with viewers.
Well, just as another aside, I did want to mention as well about Minister Urick, who's the Minister of Environment, Conservation and Parks, who this week announced a new recycling model for the province of Ontario with respect to the blue bins. I can tell you that for over 30 years, believe it or not, there's been little change in the amount of recycling here in Ontario. It's really been stalled at like 30% of our waste. We are making really big initiative at the government of Ontario to get that number up so we can reduce landfills. We're going to have standardization across the province, because right now, if you're in Ottawa, what's recyclable might be different than if you're in Parry Sound or if you're in Toronto. So we're going to have standardization. We're going to bring more recycling into long-term care homes, apartment buildings, schools, and we're going to be able to recycle more, and we're going to make it producer pay, which means companies are going to be incented to really recycle. So it's going to come off the backs of municipal taxpayers onto businesses, and they're going to have that profit incentive to get recycling to be a much bigger part of their focus. So we're really excited about that news here in Ontario. I wish we get more news coverage, because it's great for the environment. It's great for the people of Ontario.
Well, thank you for joining us here today. If you have purchased hand sanitizer from Dollarama, you should check if the label says Daily Shield. While Daily Shield is a legitimate brand of hand sanitizer, a fake version has been on Dollarama shelves here in Halton. Health Canada has issued a recall and advises anyone who has purchased it not to use it. It may not be effective against viruses, and worse, it could pose some serious health risks. If you've already been using the product and have a related health concern, you are advised to consult with your doctor. A local legion has a new symbol to remember our veterans. Melissa Candelaria reports.
Here at the Milton Evergreen Cemetery, a new monument to honor our veterans sit. James Hunter is a member of the Milton Legion and says he took on a project to revamp this bench.
I volunteered to clean up the patio at the Legion and get some real flowers in and be their gardener. So they said okay. So when spring came, I went around to businesses in town and got a lot of donations of real flowers to plant. And I went to Arbor Nursery, which is my favorite nursery in Milton, and I know the people there, good family in business, and she gave me some flowers, and then she called me out the back, and we went through all these trees and bushes, and she's pushed this bench out, this garden bench, and it's beautiful.
The poppies, the words "lest we forget," and the famous first two lines of this timeless poem has new life. Hunter says he certainly went out of his comfort zone working on this project.
The paint was all faded, so I went around trying to find how do you clean the cement off. I'd never done it before. So somebody said use Coca-Cola. I got muriatic acid mixed it with water and a steel brush and scrubbed it, and I best I could, and cleaned up pretty good. Then I got some paint. I had to paint the poppies and the green and the black and the red, and the writing of the verse. I had to put the paint in the little cracks, and it worked out real good. So they're all happy with it.
Now, the bench's original home was here at Arbor Garden Center and Nursery. Sarah Ely says it was important for them to make this donation.
Martha, my mother that owns the garden center, she bought it from a company, and in her mind she was thinking of donating it. And it's very special. They've done such a great job at the cemetery, and it's an honor. They've done so much for our country, so we want to give back.
The bench was certainly a labor of love and a project Hunter says was near and dear to his heart.
I have trouble talking about it. I see the vets. I really can't talk about it. I need time. I see the vets at the Legion, and my grandfather was in the war, and my wife's uncle was killed in the war, and I just want to help out. I'm retired now, and I want to volunteer, and I like to do what I do, and I get satisfaction out of it. That's the story.
One way to honor them.
Yeah, one way to honor them.
Like many industries, the arts have been struggling to make ends meet throughout the pandemic. This has prompted the Ontario Arts Council to create a public survey to help organizations try to plan for their future. Nikki Wesley spoke with Art Gallery of Burlington CEO Robert Stephen for more.
The Ontario Arts Council has arranged for this survey called the Audience Outlook Monitor to be conducted all across Ontario through cultural organizations that are partners with the Ontario Arts Council.
The Art Gallery is one of 100 organizations across the province selected to participate and distribute to their members.
Things like what their cultural engagement was before the pandemic, what it is now, and what they intend it to be when they come back, or when the pandemic is over, and what would make them feel safe doing so. And so the goal of the overall project is to help to create planning distance for cultural organizations so that we can plan in terms of market demand.
The gallery has gone a step further and actually called thousands of their members
to ask them how they're doing, how the art gallery can help them, how the art gallery can serve them differently during this time, and what their needs and goals are.
The survey has been sent out to a quarter of their membership at a time in August, September, October, and will follow up in November.
The most popular answer as to when the public will come back to cultural activities is when I feel it's safe to do so. And the biggest answer about when will you feel it's safe to do so is when I've been vaccinated. And so that is a long way away, and that didn't change very much from August to September.
So how are they using the information from the results of August and September to help plan their services?
We really haven't been able to, because we're really responding to the public health orders at this point, right, and to the financial challenges that the organization faces. We're not in the clear in terms of offering a wide range of new services yet, or alternate services, because we understand that the second wave is just getting started.
So what is the gallery's current financial outlook?
The Art Gallery Burlington generates from earned revenues, the kind of revenues that we have been unable to earn throughout the closure, about 60% of our revenue. And so, by the end of the year, that could be a loss of $700,000 for us. The immediate outlook, thanks to the generosity of the community and thanks to the federal wage subsidy, is not bad at all. We haven't had to have any layoffs of regular full-time or part-time staff. We haven't had to cancel any exhibitions for financial reasons. We had to cancel some because we were closed.
Stephen says without the adaptability of the staff, the virtual programming they are creating for the community would be impossible.
The staff have been absolutely heroic in terms of adapting to the situation and keeping us in a state of readiness to offer whatever services we are able to within the community and within our budget.
In addition to online classes and small pottery classes in the gallery,
we are supplying some curriculum-based materials for the Halton District School Board, and that's something that we used to do school tours in person here, but we can reach many more students this way, and we're very proud to have been asked to work with the school district on this.
they have recently modified the beloved soup bowl to keep fundraising going. The current main exhibit is by Burlington's own P. Mansaram. Reporting for Halton News, I'm Nikki Wesley.
It's now official. The City of Burlington will no longer offer free parking downtown in the month of December. This was approved by Council at the request of the Burlington Downtown Business Association, as they did not feel it was serving its purpose. In keeping the 3-hour parking limit throughout December, the downtown businesses hope to encourage turnover so more paying customers and tourists can shop. Despite all the negative associations many of us now have with the year 2020 due to COVID-19, there's also been many good stories and some interesting and inspiring ways that residents have chosen to give back. Meet Jasmine, a grade 7 student with a creative and generous idea.
This is Rob Bailey, the Executive Director of the Burlington Food Bank. I'm here with Jasmine and her mom, Melissa. Jasmine, you're here with the birdhouse.
Yeah.
What got you into painting birdhouses?
I began at the beginning of quarantine painting rocks, and then I sort of went into painting birdhouses, and my parents' friend Robin gave me the idea, and I just started planning it and with my mom and my dad, and we started selling them.
And you started selling them. How many did you end up selling?
42.
42. And then what did you decide about the money?
I decided I was going to donate to the food bank because on the news I saw how much they needed it and how many people would benefit from it, so I decided to donate it here.
It's a huge help, and we just at the food bank, we want to thank you from all of us, our staff and our volunteers, and especially our clients, because they're the ones that are really going to benefit the most, that we're going to be able to continue getting good, healthy food for them. So thanks so much for doing that, and thanks to all the other kids out there that are doing great things to try and support their community.
We have some tips for those of you thinking of retirement, and it's Small Business Week. More on that after the break. Welcome back to Halton News. For those of you thinking about retirement, you already know that there's a lot of planning that goes into the decision and how you'll afford the years ahead. Jennifer Watson is a wealth manager who submitted this tip to us today to share with those of you who can benefit from the advice.
Hi there, I'm Jennifer Watson from Watson Investments, a holistic wealth management firm founded in 1991. And I want to give you a retirement tip today. So perhaps you're in retirement or nearing retirement or even just thinking about it. Well, it can be very nerve-wracking, when that paycheck stops. But the paycheck can be recreated. It can even be given to you on a biweekly basis if that's what you're used to. So there's many different ways of structuring retirement, structuring different accounts for different purposes. And it's important that you figure out the best fit that works for you. Talking to an advisor, they can talk you through this planning. They can talk you through, expected income needs in retirement, and they can create different buffers and different ways of getting you that money. So yes, it can potentially be a very exciting experience, but also one that we certainly want to plan for to make sure that you have a very happy and enjoyable retirement that you've really worked for and deserve. So good luck in your planning, and definitely think through the frequency of money to come into your bank account from other sources. think through how much, think through what you want to do in retirement, and let the dreaming continue.
Another cloudy fall day out there today, but we do have some sunshine ahead of us in our forecast. Taking a look at our 5-day outlook now, you can see that if you want to get some of that sunshine, it has to be tomorrow. We're looking forward to a mix of sun and clouds and all the way up to 23 degrees as our high in the afternoon. If you can, please do try to get out there and enjoy that, because as you can see, there is plenty of clouds in our forecast coming up, as well as rain showers. We're looking at a 30% chance of rain. Also, our temperatures won't hit those double digits after Friday. Throughout this 5-day forecast, 9 degrees Saturday, 8 on Sunday, 60% chance of showers on Monday, and again on Tuesday. It's BDC Small Business Week, and the Oakville Chamber of Commerce is announcing the winners of the Stronger Together Business Resiliency Awards. Each day this week, the Oakville Chamber is showcasing one of the 5 award recipients who demonstrated innovation, compassion, and determination during the COVID-19 pandemic. Today, they're thrilled to announce the 4th recipient, Pad Print Extreme. Pad Print Extreme is a commercial printing and laser etching company that provides unparalleled service to end users, third parties, and companies from all sectors such as Baylis Medical, 3M Canada, and Staples Promotions. Here's how they proved resilient during COVID-19.
So COVID impacted our business by essentially shutting us down. We work in the marketing and promotional industry, and when everything got shut down, that essentially closed our doors as well, because there's no work inbound. We were allowed to stay open as we do some medical printing for some companies, but that didn't mean that there's really any work at all. So we had to let majority of our guys go, and I was effectively here by myself, kind of doing what I can as things came and went out the door. We had to kind of juxtaposition ourselves in a way that we are now trying to look for work in different areas rather than marketing promotional, which wasn't there. So that led us down a hole of doing different advertising on Google, through social media as well, looking for manufacturing companies more so, and trying to find work with injection molders and companies like that, which we knew were still open. That led us to find a company like CAE, who's actually doing the ventilators for the federal government. And that work has allowed us to effectively reopen and bring all of our employees back. Some lessons that we've learned would definitely be to be ready for anything and everything, to better manage your time during the day, to better budget, just to be all around prepared for anything that can happen.
And now a look to how some of Halton's top companies performed on the markets today. Stay with us. We'll be right back with a local psychiatrist, Dr. Ashok Bhattacharya, with the difference between aggression and assertion. Stay with us. Welcome back to Halton News. Up now, we have a local psychiatrist explaining the differences between aggression and assertion and which is more effective.
Hi, this is Dr. Ashok Bhattacharya speaking to you from the Empathy Clinic here in Oakville. Today I'd like to talk about 2 ideas. One is aggression and assertion. Now we need to differentiate these 2 ideas, because when people are being aggressive, they might be able to get their point across in a forceful way. But when they're being assertive, they're actually doing something much more constructive. Let's look at the difference first of all. With aggression, you're being hostile and loud, sometimes threatening. You're tending to devalue others, and you're also violating their boundaries. However, if you're being assertive, you have a much calmer mood. The volume of your voice is normal, and you're actually building those relationships rather than destroying them. Assertiveness tends to value others and it establishes and reinforces boundaries with other people. So it's really important to realize that if you're being assertive, you're actually doing something positive. It's a positive interaction. It may not feel positive in the moment, but the result of it is going to be more positive, certainly, than aggression. Assertion also establishes rapport, and it's the building blocks of empathy, which is very, very important for building better relationships within the family, outside of the family, and in the workplace. So when you're having an interaction with someone and you're feeling that your boundaries are being crossed, or that someone's taken something from you, or you need to assert yourself, try to do it in the calmest way possible. That way is going to be a positive interaction ultimately for you and also the people around you. Take care. See you next time.
And now taking a look at some events and also things that you can contribute to, such as the food banks. Now, we're very happy to support the Burlington Food Bank, and they submit videos to us each day, but you should be aware that in Oakville there are also food banks that need your help. The Fair Share Food Bank, Kerr Street Mission, and the Salvation Army, for example. Please visit their respective websites to see what items they are in the greatest need of during this time. Canadian jazz star Elise LeGros is back in Burlington for 2 shows this Saturday, October 25th, appearing at the Burlington Performing Arts Center Community Studio Theatre at 4 p.m. and 7 p.m. BPAC says they are perfectly positioned to welcome back audiences, keeping safety at the forefront. They have a spacious lobby, increased ventilation, and physically distanced ticketing system. All patrons must wear a mask, hand sanitize upon entry, and maintain physical distance outside of their social circle. Of course, you're also asked to stay home if you're unwell or may have been exposed to COVID-19. Tickets for this intimate performance are still available at burlingtonpac.ca. The Zonta Club of Oakville is having a Halloween fundraiser. For those of you who like to buy in bulk, you can choose from a lovely selection of beautiful wines ahead of Halloween, knowing that 10% of your purchase price will support local women's organizations such as Savas, Home Sweet Hope, and Halton Women's Place. The exclusive Zonta box will have a variety of Italian red and white wine bottles for you to serve in your home. Free shipping is available and it will arrive within 3 to 5 business days. To order yours, visit the website on your screen. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you for tuning into Halton News. We'd like to welcome you to join us back tomorrow night live at 5. Until then, join us on social media at YourTV Halton. For Halton News, I'm Jessica Keating.